This is John and Marleen. And just a few years ago, they faced the most difficult situation of their lifetime.
Before we went through our multi-million-dollar bankruptcy, I went and stood on a bridge.
Wow.
And I had to have that talk with God because I was done.
Ultimately, that led to their separation, leaving each of them with absolutely nothing. You have on your checking account $20.
That's correct.
And you also have a saving account with $5.
That's correct.
But today, now 8 months later, they are back on the show as a couple with a new outlook on life. At this age, many would assume that you would have it all together, all figured out. But that is just not always the case. Let's dive in. Welcome to Finance Action follow-up right on the ground with two iconic individuals that we had on the show. Johnny Santa, also known as John, and dear Marleen. How are you guys doing?
Great. Great to see you again this year.
Super duper.
Excellent. Guys, if you have not had the chance to check out the video, you can check them out right here. But if you do, and you just need a quick reminder, let me introduce you to our guest today. We're gonna start with you, Johnny Santa, but right now it's off season. Guys, this video is, to me, probably one of the best that we've produced, especially as you think about the, holiday season. John right here actually is, in a way, the real life Santa, as you may have seen in the video, but kind of bringing back to the real story. You are in your 60s.
I am.
At the time of our recording, you were pretty much a couple months from starting the holiday season.
Yes.
But you also were finding yourself in a pretty tough financial situation. You had
I was.
$25 on your account, and you had also a bunch of kind of medical complications that prevented you from really getting back into the workforce.
Right. I thought I'd be financially independent when I was this age. I thought I could give to my grandchildren. I thought I'd have property to give them and things to will away. I had all of those things in my 30s, but I've lost them all. I don't have anything to give anybody. Just a hug and some wisdom.
But now, it's been months. We are in July.
Right?
Tell me a little bit more about what has been going on your side from a financial and personal standpoint.
Let's see, after the holidays there, the first part was 3 months or so, I believe. I was really sick again and out of the hospital. But we were scared there for a minute because they didn't know what it was. But we got through that.
All right. So currently, you still live full-time on a boat.
I still live in a 34-foot CHB here in the marina.
And actually, while we just get you on that, I'm going to show you guys a brief tour of the living condition of our friend John. So check this out.
Good to see you.
Great to see you again.
Come aboard.
Excellent.
Welcome to my palace here. This is what you would call the dining room area. Settee, this is my couch area. Dining area right here. The table does flip out both ways. This is a bar, and the captain chair rolls out.
Wow.
Right here, so that we can have more of a family setting of 8. This is the galley fridge. All my drawers, silverware, etc. My water pump on and off. My oven on and off for my gas control from up above.
And I see that you've been baking for us. That's very nice.
Morning with like a cinnamon roll and some milk or something, Back here we did the bedding. It's just set up to be made up as a room to sleep in.
It's called an aft cabin.
It's an aft stateroom. It's fully bath, shower. You can go down in there. Wow. Let's see if she'll just fire up for you. We got to put some juice to it.
Wow. Oh yeah, it's going. Very nice. All right, let's look at the upstairs.
All my controls are up here. I can control the boat. See my RPMs, what's going on up here.
Back from the tour, and I think it must be pretty tough to live in such small spaces during the winter.
It can be really, it's really tough in the winter, especially if there's several people on board.
But it's pretty affordable, isn't it?
Very, extremely affordable. I mean, I don't mean unpleasant cold. It's just I can't reach over and turn the thermostat and kick it up to 80 degrees, right?
That's fair.
But so extremely affordable.
How much are you spending here for this per month?
I have private parking
Okay.
You see that I'm locked in a gate, private area.
Yeah.
I pay $7.55 a month, and that's utilities and everything.
Downtown Seattle, right in the center.
Down Ballard, Seattle, right in the biggest city in the state of Washington, and I can go anywhere. I got the trails, the bus. I can go anywhere.
What a alternative living.
Yes.
Now let's speak a little bit about your financial situation. How did this all come together after Christmas? You had $25, that was it. Where are you now?
Well, let me see here. Did we file for disability last time we spoke?
You had started, but you didn't have the full amount per month.
I filed.
You getting it?
No. They're still working on it. We're at like 85-90% finished. So I'm hoping for that to come in. Finances have been very tight for me.
Yeah.
Because I got to pay the rent there, and still got a boat payment for at least another. I think it's almost a year, and then I own the boat's paid off.
So you were making about $1,000 or so per month. Are you still making pretty much more or less the same nowadays?
Yep, nothing there's changed for me.
Nothing there's
Other
changed.
than I got sick, which was unforeseen. And so my financial situation is pretty dire. It's the same, but I feel very optimistic this year.
Wow, what makes you say that?
I think I'm going to get approved for my disability in the next month.
Nice.
And I'm going to get something of that. And my better half has been, because it's tight, it's hard to fill your tank nowadays for $80, $100. It's hard to get your oil changed for $100. Groceries are tight. Food's never, ever been this high. And she slips me $100 here. She changes my oil, pays my boat payment.
Very nice.
And I see her every weekend. And yeah, so I don't have anything to complain about. I just think it's going to get better. I'm just tired of being broke all the time. I can't, if I'd have known Social Security would turn me down, I'd find something to do for somebody where I was typing something or something. But there's just nothing. Nobody wants to hire a man in his 60s that's had heart attacks and strokes and put him on the payroll and send him out to drive anywhere or do anything.
And at some point, what's the crazy stories about both of you as a couple is you guys were millionaire at some point. You had 40 employees.
Yeah. 3 stores.
You.
I had 3 stores, 40 employees.
Whoa, 40 employees.
40 employees.
Okay.
Yep, love that. And so we had a house on the water, and we had multiple cars, and it was wonderful.
But then what happened?
In 2011, we had a multi-million-dollar bankruptcy.
Ooh.
So we lost it all. I knocked on my dad's door, and I said, hey, can we move into your basement? Because we lost our home as well.
Guys, if you stay till the end of the video, we're gonna have a surprise for you guys. So stick along. But now that we've got a little bit of an update from John, it is time to turn to the one and only Marleen. All right. Marleen, one of the most popular video on our channel. Let me introduce you to our friend right here. So once with John, you guys were the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. But at some point, you guys ended up filing for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. And that led you, Marleen, to stand up on the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Before we went through our multi-million-dollar bankruptcy, I went and stood on a bridge.
Wow.
And I had to have that talk with God because I was done. And all of the drama and the trauma that I was going through with being the sole financial provider, for being the person that was making the decisions, for being the person that made some bad decisions in our finances, I was ready to take a leap.
You decided to find the resources and the courage to recover from what at the time seems unachievable. Mm-hmm. And when we met 8 months ago, you were still kind of recovering from the situation, but you were still finding yourself to be more balanced. You worked a regular job, making about $30 an hour. You had about $40,000 of assets, but no real retirement, a lot of which was driven by the equity that you guys have on the boat. Mm-hmm. And you still have a little bit of debt. Also, when we spoke together, you were spending sometimes a little bit of money on things that may not be the most necessary, but you had to live. That was kind of the life at the time. It has been 8 months, and I'm very pleased to see you both here together today. Marleen, tell me kind of what has been going on with you.
I've been in my cabin in the woods.
That's right.
John and I have been navigating through our stuff, our relationship, our finances, life's responsibilities, and actually having open conversations. Things don't always have to look as other people's expectations of what a marriage is.
Interesting.
Right? I've mentioned
word interesting.
I mentioned to him that I've never lived by myself. So being in this cabin and having a space, it has been able to help me get grounded and find out truly who I am, what I am doing, and how I'm offering that to the world. Same with our relationship on where that is and how we're growing that.
Because how long have you guys been together?
25 years.
As any relationship, you guys kind of been through the ups and downs, and that's natural. But you found peace in still being present for one another, but not living in the same space.
Yeah, there was difficulties, but then just to be able to navigate who we are and what we're doing, and that it's okay, and
Finding a little bit more of ourselves.
yes.
Because you're different when you're with somebody, like right now. But if you were with your current fiance, your wife, for 20 straight years, you'd be a different person than if you were without them. You're different apart.
Yeah, and your life's growing ups and downs, and there are
Sure.
points that you're not going to, that your intersection's not going to intersect. And it didn't. And well, we agreed to disagree, and that's why I have a cabin in the woods.
But so Marleen, when it comes to your financial situation, how has that evolved since we've last spoken?
So I currently do not have my job anymore, so I don't
Okay.
get that financial paycheck. Here in the state of Washington, they have an amazing program called PFMLA. I was told that it's a benefit, and
Did you know it
because
existed at first?
yes, because I have a grandchild, the state says there's bonding time, and you're allowed to pull from
months,
this
right? I think it's
resource.
around
Yeah.
18 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
12 weeks, sorry. Yeah.
12 weeks. Yeah. So I'm utilizing that,
But
and
it is only 90%.
yeah.
I mean, but that's for they'll pay you 90%.
Well,
of
I'm
your
not.
wage.
I'm not putting gas in the car
Yeah.
and navigating and buying. I'm not buying coffee. I haven't bought coffee. Well,
Ah.
I did buy coffee last weekend because he came to visit.
Okay, but what about your unnecessary expenses? How are we doing on that front? That's it?
I am not Goodwilling. I am not Red Robin.
She's
I've
still
not.
a
Oh, the
whore.
right, Red Robin,
No.
you guys.
Red Robin.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are a couple that is kind of aging together, you know? I mean, that's just the reality of life.
That's right. That's right. That's
Um,
correct.
How do you guys feel today about your finances together? How do you guys feel about it?
Right now, for the next 2 or 3 months, I think it's going to be, my life is like I'll just say it. My life is pretty poor. I go to the food bank, and she helps me with what she can do, and I think that's all going to change when my Social Security kicks in. I think that for me,
How
and
much are you
for
going to
her,
be making with the new Social Security?
$1,550 a month.
$1,550.
Yeah, and which by that time I'll almost have paid off the boat. So really, I'll only have my rent, gas, food, and that's it. So this makes me be able to live. I can call my wife and say, "Why don't you come over? I might take you out for dinner." I can actually do that. You know what I mean? So for the first time, and it doesn't make me wealthy by any standard, but I can actually not worry about any of my bills and live and go on a date or go to a movie or something.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen, I think, for me.
All right.
In the next 2 or 3 months for sure.
A brief apartheid, guys, to let you know that I always keep myself up to date with some of the best products available in the world of finance. In fact, in the description below, I've included a list of resources that I use myself, from pet insurance to high-yield saving accounts. So I invite you to check it out. And now, let's get back to our content. Okay. What about you, Marleen? How do you feel? Because you've been, in a way, kind of carrying the finances of this relationship for years since kind of some of your accident. How do you feel about all of that?
I am at peace with where our money situation is.
Well,
Money is such
at the beginning, just to say, at the beginning, she paid my rent at $735 then, and my boat payment because I'm disabled and I couldn't work and I was in the hospital.
I know.
Somebody had to pay it, right? Or I'd be homeless, and that's not going to serve the state, me or her, any help.
Yeah.
So she used to pay that. Then I was able to pay my own rent. So now she's just down to the boat payment.
Mm-hmm.
So she's able to help herself a little bit, get ahead and square things up on her side to prepare for what she's doing now. which is taking care of her grandson.
Thanks for talking for me. I know. Talking about money is so hard because we didn't, as my family, talk about money. And right, I have been in charge of our finances for 25 years, and we never talked about money.
Wow.
When our store was going down and down and down and down, he had no idea what the finances were, because all I knew was we just need to push forward. We need to push forward. We need to push forward. We need to push forward.
And I made good money when I was, as superintendent in construction. I made really good money, but I would just throw my check like any man used to do, an old man. I just threw every Friday night. My check went to the bank, and as long as I had my lunch and the gas in my car and go to work, I'm all happy.
But walk me through the psychology of handling this as a couple.
It was horrible. I put a dent in the car. I kicked the car.
She didn't mentally handle a lot of the loss well, because we'd worked so many hours, so many straight days, so many. And when you're your own business owner, you have to do it all.
Yeah.
And so she
we went
didn't
from doing everything to actually doing nothing, and then nobody would hire us. And then it was like, because we were both risers. I mean, we both were in the military.
Achievers. Everywhere we've ever worked, we went up.
We were solution providers.
That's why we opened a business on our own and thought why make millions for everybody else? Let's do it for ourselves. Well,
what would you recommend for potentially people that either are in young relationships or a little bit more advanced? How should finance be spoken to as a couple now that you guys have gone through a bankruptcy, you've gone through millionaires to nothing?
What would you say to that?
I would say to be true about what all your debts are. What are the debts that you're bringing to the table? What are the debts you're bringing to the table?
And what are your expectations going forward?
What are each other's expectations? Are you 50-50ing it? Because if you are, you have an account, and then you have a house account. And then in the house account, everybody puts the dollars that are going to go out to pay the rent or the food, or being open and honest about it, and having it as a dual. That has been something that I get very triggered on, and I get triggered on. But we are talking about it and having those conversations and the decisions, because before it was all my responsibility.
What do you guys think is the best way to approach the discussion as a couple, and what has not worked?
Well, arguing about it doesn't work. Accumulating a debt without talking to your significant other doesn't work. It means you don't go buy a car or charge up or get a new credit card with $2,000 credit limit and you don't go out and acquire more debt without talking to me about it.
Yeah, but being honest, being open and honest, and having those conversations and meeting back often and sitting down and doing the bills together.
Make sure you're right on the same page, because we often go like that, or on a different. Maybe when you sat down and discussed it, maybe you had a misunderstanding. And the next month when you're looking at it, you go, oh, I didn't understand it that way. Now I know. But if you didn't talk about it for 6 months, it's too late.
Yeah.
What are some of the final words that you may want to say about your story and just, kind of the people that you guys have become now?
I'm satisfied with it right now, the direction it's going. I'm happy. We've got a lot of things that we've had to work out, right? Which, in the world, the way it is, you got to work things out and do things. And, I'm pretty adjusted, I think.
Yeah, I'd say just never give up. Never give up. And keep talking and know what's in your heart. Yeah.
The truth.
The truth.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, well, we each have our individual dreams. We each have what our passion is. And what is your passion?
Hey guys, I'm about to surprise John with an action that we've taken together as a community. As you may have known, at the end of this video, we had a GoFundMe that was at the goal of $1,000, but we were able to raise $2,442, which is super exciting. And I'm gonna now kind of give it to John, and we'll see together his reaction. So follow along. I have a gift for you.
Oh!
This, John, is the amount that we've collected from you, for the GoFundMe that we had together, to the amount of $2,441.
That is fantastic. Thank you. That's fantastic.
So that was an amazing action from everyone here that actually participated. Fantastic. How do you feel about it, John?
This is huge for me. I just went through my whole situation. So this like I won the lotto.
What do you think you're going to be doing now with this amount that you're receiving? for your
Well,
from our peer followers?
I'm going to take my beautiful wife out for dinner.
Yes.
Right. I've got a debt over here that I got to pay, which should probably be $700-800. It's been helping me along, and then the rest is going to go probably on my boat, on the house, to get cleaned up.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, guys, for your support and for allowing us to create actions like this with John. We appreciate you for following along through our journey, and we are hoping to show you any additional, many more journeys and stories.
Oh, we'll see each other again.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. À bientôt.